Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I still got a little bit of infamy here, so maybe I won't go after Chitral immediately. But if I went after Chitral, what would it be? 2.4 and 3.3. I could definitely do it. I could definitely do it. It's definitely viable. It's definitely an option. I definitely have the option of going after Chitral. If I did, let me see. This is the state of Bashtinistan, which also consists of, I think, most of the Khalsa Raj. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to annex the Khalsa Raj. Annexing is not the name of the game anymore, which it was in 1.0. And obviously now we're bordering Great Britain over here, which is nice. Bhutan is all of a state with Britain over here. And then Sikkim is part of the Eastern Himalayas. Interesting. It's a very nifty border shape there. But, you know, that is what it is. And there's baking powder. Do I have any food industries that are in my country? At least some. We're producing... No, certainly not. Certainly pot stills and patent stills would not produce any... would not be useful for me. Oh, I can't go to bone china until I'm at crystal glass. Alright, so... Well, that actually is more productive. And bone china even more productive. Alright, excellent. India will produce the necessary china. That's fun. I wonder how long that'll last. Because I think bone china really... Like, I think when you're at this set of production methods... Oh no, it's 40 and 30. I thought... Bone china, at least at one point, produced an absolutely overwhelming abundance of ceramics. Oh, we can definitely go to steel tools. I'd completely forgotten Doesn't that require mechanized workshops? It doesn't. Oh, mechanical tools. I was thinking of mechanized workshops. That's why. All right, so that was silly of me, but we got it solved. We ended up getting it solved. How long till pump jacks? I think my plantation industry is really productive. Let me see. Fertilizer's in a good spot right now. All of my farms are using the proper farming method, right? Yes. They are now. Lead mines are not using good methods. They are now. Shell gun. Interesting. Huh. Overproducing meat, I guess. Very curious. We'll definitely swap. Oh, you know what? I just took territory and didn't normalize. I'm like, why do I have all these? Not incorporate. I'm like, why do I have all these states that are different? It's because I took territory and didn't normalize production methods. But I should be doing that. And that'll be nice. So let's take a second and take a look at these movements, particularly the utilitarian movement. They seem extremely salty. Protesting. So, these are the things they... So, what does this do? So, let me see. Are you going to help me do a thing? You're not very strong. Relevancy 5. Strength 5. It's not very... None of these movements are very strong. So, like, this peasant movement. Your ideology is land reformer. You dislike... You're fine with the form of taxation. You're against tenant farmers. You want, ideally, homesteading. So, if I go to pass homesteading... That doesn't... I don't have the ability to do that. Okay, so that doesn't produce enactment chance. right away. Now, what about the utilitarian movement? There are a bunch of things you're for. So, for example, if I wanted to go from no schools to public education, if I wanted to get rid of slavery, would you help me get rid of slavery? This would make the Zamindars extremely unfortunate. Extremely unhappy, rather. The Zamindars are happy enough. I think that 5%... Okay, let me look at this. Yes, so this 5% is from the utilitarian movement. That's why. They want that. Interesting. Okay, so that's good to know. So I got a 5% chance of doing any of these things that this movement wants, which is good. Hopefully this movement gets larger over time. Supporting pops, we got mostly clerks and bureaucrats. Interesting. Curious. Raising concerns. The Blocs have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the East India Company. Choosing is always hard, not because the decision is difficult to make, but because the consequences can be a bit inconvenient. Rumors are spreading like smoke from a factory, staining the clean air of the British East India Company with dense and vicious poison. I'm going to go with the need to accept we can't always please everyone. It's going to make them unhappy, but it's also going to weaken them a little bit, and that's fine. The Blocs can continue to be weak. Makes the Zamindars stronger than they are. A lot of people will be happy with protectionism. We'll only get 5%. And there's canneries. Quickly go over to that whilst I'm thinking about it. Canned meat is definitely more efficient, so we'll go ahead and do that. How much am I making from government dividends? I'm making a little bit in government dividends, but what I should be spending money on is increasing the size of the construction sector, because the investment pool is still just absolutely enormous. Ooh, I got a bureaucracy problem. Why do I have a bureaucracy problem? Because the East India Company is salty. Yeah, well, I didn't realize they were providing me with that much of my bureaucracy. That's curious. Bihar has no government admins, 5 government admins. Nope, I'm maxed out on space here. What about the central provinces? Central provinces are in the process of being incorporated, but they're not yet. Bombay, do we have enough? Yeah, we are still trying to increase infrastructure, government in Bombay. I'm just going to build 2. I think that'll be fine. I don't necessarily need an enormous buffer here. Just a few. And then we've ended up with a 5th army. Move their units to the Bengal army. I actually don't need this army. So that's interesting. When I drop them out of infantry, all the other barracks disappear. That's curious. Alright, and then the construction sectors. Let me see. Assam. Assam could use construction sectors. Oud already has a few. What about Agra? Agra could have a few. And where does that put us in terms of total construction sectors? That puts us at... Where are they? 30. Could put in a couple more. What about the northern Sirkars? 1 here, and we'll throw 1 in the ceded districts. And that'll be nice. So... Let me see. Obviously, we want them near the top. Let's put them... we'll do this other stuff first and worry about them later. Got a little bit of... Now, if I go after Chitral, got a little bit of infamy to play around with. If I go after Chitral, I'll potentially be in a situation where I'll be... China, if China decides to fight... I'm improving relations with them though, right? Yes. I still am. And how well is that going? It could be going better, but it also could be going worse. The French are much happier now, at least. That's nice. And the Khalsa Raj is continuing to increase in relations, and that means they're going to be less interested in becoming free, and that's what I want. Gosh, the money situation has never been better. Maybe I need to be more aggressive in building up construction sectors. More here. How much bureaucracy? Or, you know, we'll do even a couple more in Mumbai. Seated districts, have we got the infrastructure? We absolutely do. Yeah, you can get a couple more. Construction sectors. And then Mysore. We got the construction sector capacity, or we got the infrastructure capacity, that's for sure. Look at this. We're at 44k in the black, which I'm feeling pretty pleased about, to be completely honest. Yeah, we'll throw all the rest of these at the top of the queue as well. Obviously, we'll get the ones that were almost built. Cross-border investments. This event is happening a bunch. Alwari this time. You know, we'll let them invest in Alwar. That's fine. I don't need to worry about that every time. My financial situation is actually rock solid. I could use this opportunity of having a little bit of extra cash to maybe build myself a navy. Ooh, and there's modern sewerage. Okay, so how much is that actually affecting infrastructure in, say, West Bengal? Oh, wow, that's provided so much more. Oh, this is wonderful. Modern sewerage was the... I did it. Oh, so good at video games. Alright. Am I overbuilding my construction sectors? Maybe. I'm going to give that a resounding maybe. Alright. Who's picking a fight with me? Oh no, this is Britain picking a fight with someone else. The Maldives. I couldn't possibly care. You get him, Great Britain. Oh, I don't like the color Oman is. Oh, they've become a Russian. A Russian what? Russian puppet. How did that happen? Weren't they free a little while ago? Curious. Extremely curious. Well, Egypt and the Ottomans are fighting again. What are you two fighting about this time? Oh, same thing as before, I suppose. Egypt wants, or Ottoman Empire wants back all this stuff, and... Did they white peace out last time? Because I think this is their 1836 border here. Not sure. Not sure. Iron is expensive in the British market, but I should have plenty of places where I can build up iron production capacity. So I'm not super worried about that at all. I'll build up 5 levels in Bihar. Let me see. And I think in West Bengal, we'll just max it out. That should be fine. That should give us plenty of iron to play with. All these construction sectors are taking a long time, and they are eating into my surplus, but that's good. In fact, it's looking like the investment pool is getting less and less full, which is also good. That is what we want to see. 2 arms. Because the investment pool being less full means that more and more of that is going into the economy, and hopefully that going into the economy means that standard of living is going up. Because hopefully the private sector will be building up industries that will improve that will make the nation more productive, and that's the thing we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to achieve here. So if I take some time to build these railways, I could do that, or I could simply build up all the industry that I've been wanting to build up. Again, I forgot that I had these government admins scheduled already, so that was smart. I'm extremely smart. I'm so good at video games. Persia, why are you going after Kandahar? No, Russia sides with Kandahar. Well, gosh. Ooh. Try to steal Oman from Russia. But that would make this an extremely expensive war, and I don't necessarily desire that. What are you getting out of it, Russia? A conqueror on Khorasan. Where? Here. Curious. Very curious. I'll probably not get involved in that. I wonder if I'm making a mistake over there. I don't think that's gonna... A conqueror war goal on Khorasan. Well, they will be in touch with Oman, but I don't think that's gonna be... I don't think that's gonna be an issue. Alright, how's this naval invasion going? Britain, are you gonna put a unit here? Why are you invading with a tiny fleet? Persia backs down. Oh, interesting. Very curious. Gold in the Northern Cape, that's pretty cool. You get that money. Sorry, I was about to say South Africa, but that's not South Africa. That's the Cape Colony. And there's the Maldives taken over. Properly taken over. So let me see. I think now is a good opportunity to go after Chitral. So, if I want to steal Chitral, China might get involved. I don't love that idea. China's pretty pleased with me right now. So I think maybe I'll wait. So, what else can I do? I can get a protectorate over Bhutan. Or over Sikkim. Both of these countries have been improving relations with me. And I can't make the other type of vassal, right? I guess not. So if I do this, nobody's interested in stepping in. They might say yes. Let's go ahead and see. They did not, but that's okay. I'm not necessarily worried about it. We'll grab the Bombay army and have them handle the situation. I'm not worried about this Bhutanese army. That's all irregular infantry all the time, and I can't be bothered. Sikkim improving relations. Excellent. I love that. Perfect. So, all the stuff I've got queued up, I think I'm gonna throw it in above those railways. But then after that, I'll do those railways for sure. Honest. I'll do the railways. I'll do this other stuff first, because it was already under construction. Bhutan is damaging relations. Well, that is what it is. Inefficient agriculture. The East India Company have started complaining about the existence of subsistence farms in Delhi, stating that their undeniable inefficiency should be immediately addressed. The fertile soil of our people suffers, relegated to tired and callous hands, too exhausted from manual labor to perform at a decent level, too poor to be able to afford to use more advanced tools that would make them more productive. This industry is just a useless investment. We should follow their advice. Extra migration attraction, upper star and pops become more radical, or they serve our purposes. I'm going to say they serve our purposes. East India Company, you can be a little bit mad, because I don't want to be producing a bunch of radicals in an area that I... Well, I guess it was only upper stardom pops, so maybe I wouldn't need to have worried about it. But, you know, it's still not great. Optimal sunlight in Los Altos. Excellent. I didn't even realize Los Altos was in my, my customs union here. Alright, let's improve relation... That's a lot of Sicilies. That's got to be at least 4 Sicilies by this point. That's too many Sicilies. 2 Sicilies? Stop it. What's wrong with you? What about the Prussians? Prussians are not interested. improve relations with the Dutch. Can't do with the Belgians. The Spanish. Interesting. Very interesting situation overall. It might just be a capacity perspective. Anyway, improving relations with the Dutch will be nice. I don't need to necessarily worry about any nonsense with that. But you know, if I do decide to get feisty with the Dutch, maybe I'll damage relations again later. Iron is not expensive in the market. But, you know, it's the British market. We can always use more iron mines. Getting some steel mills, too. We're going to build up munitions plants. That's going to help overall a lot of different ways. Gosh, we're really having market access issues here. Sure wish someone with a bunch more construction capacity would build a bunch of railways in my country. In my subcountries. They should be able to. The British should be able to build those things. Alright, so... Netherlands is domineering. Netherlands, what? Excuse me. Hold on. Netherlands. Domineering. You have 43 battalions. Well, 43 battalions isn't such a small number. Still, the notions. Netherlands, you're full of notions. Fine. I will not improve relations with you then, Netherlands. Gosh. Gosh, and also golly, how could they do this? Dye Works accident. Several workers died today at the British Indian Oud Dye Works when an industrial-sized tub of hot dye accidentally spilled out over the workshop floor on the unsuspecting workers. Locals are upset about the incident, claiming that the poor safety regulations in the hot and dangerous workplace are to blame for the accident, and are urging the government to take action. As rescue workers left the scene, several workshop employees were left dying. They shall all die sooner or later. 5% of laborers become more radical, 4% mortality. Or they shall not have died in vain. 4% mortality, but trade unions get stronger. I'm going to do the second one. I don't want extra radicals. Stronger trade unions are an acceptable price to pay for not having more radicals. The country's got too many radicals. It's got 17 million. That's like more than there are in all of Britain. Speaking of which, Britain, are you going to start freaking colonizing Africa at some point? Hey, there's Bhutan. Nice. Let's be better friends. Now, Sikkim. Nobody will stop me here. They might accept. Sure, pleased if they did. They didn't. But I would have been pleased if they had. I don't need to concern myself about this too much. But yeah, usually Britain really gets fighty in Africa, and so far they haven't. The French neither. Well, the French are going going through North Africa, which they often do. But this is buck wild. This is really curious. Because typically, I mean, it's the 1850s, right? Like, typically Britain, I don't know. When I'm playing as Britain, I'm making a beeline for frickin' quinine. Speaking of beelines, a bunch of armies are going all over which away? Harvest condition? Anything involving me? Flood in North Madagascar? Nope. Dynam is improving relations, so that's nice. Siam, do you have a defensive pact with the Netherlands? Well, that's fun. Maybe I'll go after you next. Stupid Netherlands. Not that I hold a grudge or anything. Not that I would never hold a grudge against the Netherlands for not wanting to have better relations with me. Except for the time that I held a grudge against the Netherlands for not wanting to have better relations with me just now. That's my whole bit. How's Khalsa Raj doing in... This Liberty Desire is not going down as fast as I would like. But it is what it is. Burma is Midland. Interesting. Think about options over here. Thinking about what I could do. So China, what kind of an army have you got right now? China still has a mostly irregular army. Balloon reconnaissance. That's actually really good. Requires oil inputs. What kind of oil have we got in our market? I mean, what kind? It's whale oil, but, I think this will be just fine. Let me see. I'll definitely look into some mobilization options. I know I said I was going to look into mobilization options last time, but I didn't. Because I forgot. Because I'm a drunk cat, and not even a smart one at that. Loyalists are going down, and I'm not super duper pleased by that. I might need to do some kind of... I was really relying on all this industry that I'm building up to, Oh. How curious. A Dirwali uprising. Interesting. Well, that having been said, I got 56% occupation in Sikkim. I'm gonna bet I can... Hey, there it goes. Perfect. And now I can send the Bombay army without having a problem. Excellent. We did it. Oh, so good at things. I've been sort of relying on building up industry to increase my standard of living, and it hasn't. So that's not ideal. Again, obviously, I would like to get... I don't think the unstable Raj will produce a mutiny, but we'll see how that goes. Particularly when the unstable Raj is so very stable and has been for so very long. Probably shouldn't have direct conquered Western Himalayas, because I might have been able to get to be below 10% radicals. But again, I'm not super afeared about that situation. Let me see, where are we in terms of... we're getting close to the end of the episode, but I could fight one more war. On behalf of my good friends, the Khalsa Raj, with whom I have amicable relations, who have never been happier to be a protectorate of the wise and just British Raj. Hey, there's mechanized workshops. Wonderful. Okay, so that's going to change a few things. From a tech perspective, we're doing good. I wonder if now the play is I blitz all of level 2 in social so that I can grab myself steel frame. If I grab myself steel frame, it's 9. Coalition of States. That's about as bland and generic a name for a power block as you can get. Because I would love to get steel frame construction. On the other hand, I think I need to keep up with military. So let me see, we're nearly done with tier 2. So we'll grab fieldworks, we'll grab logistics up to triage. Rifling will probably be done by then. And we'll grab hydraulic cranes, and then we'll work on breech-loading artillery, which will help us keep up to date on that. Persia's going after Kabul this time. Persia, are you sure that's going to work out for you? They're grabbing Hazaristan. Frankly, transfer Herat. What an interesting proposal. Persia, are you dumb? You're gonna need... Well, that's very confusing. But that was the one I wanted, so... What if instead... if I side with Kabul... Protectorate over Persia, and that's an interesting notion. But I don't have any way of, because of Great Britain, I don't really have any way of winning that. So we'll leave that be. We'll let that be. I will not participate in a beef in Persia. That's what we're going to call that. We're not going to call it a war. We're going to call it a beef. That way the Royal Guards of the Tower of London can get involved. Because they're the beef eaters. Is that? I'm pretty sure that's why they're called that, because they get involved every time there's a beef at the Tower of London, right? That's how history works. That's how militaries function, right? And that's the end of it. Wonderful. The Khalsa Raj remains united. Perfect. I'm so good at stuff. All right, so hopefully the central provinces are going to benefit a lot from building this up. Now, iron supplies are... Oh, Italy. Italy has formed, and also it's formed the United Front. That's interesting. We got a lot of... we happen to have a lot of coalitions getting formed. So let's take a second to look at that. A lot of power blocks, rather. We're the British Empire. We have colonial offices, militarized industry, and market unification. Not my favorites, but they're pretty rock solid. And then what else? There's the Zollverein. They're a trade league headed up by Prussia. The Grand Coalition is a military alliance headed up by France. That happened forever ago. There's the Rossiyskaya Imperia, which is headed up by Russia, and that's available at Game Start. Metternich System Ideological Union, headed up by Austria. That's available at Game Start. And then the Coalition of States, the USA's one, is a trade league. And then Italy's military treaty is the United Front. So that's interesting. Really curious situation. All right. So, with that being said, I think that's gonna... Oh, we got a couple more events, and then I'll cue the end of the episode. Do a promotion. The Presidency Armies demand the promotion of Brigadier General Daniel Whitelaw, touting his history of loyal and effective service. Are you an historical character? You're not. Son, you're named Whiteclaw now. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Fleming's face when the lieutenant general learned of his imminent ascension. Their rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have its due. Daniel Whiteclaw has earned it. Presidency Army's happy. Or, the Presidency Armies will not force our hand. Presidency Army's salty, but East India Company happy. Presidency Armies are Midland. I'm going to give it to the East India Company. I really need them happier. Sorry, Presidency Armies. It just political considerations. If you want peace, the Presidency Armies suggest a more hardline foreign policy towards Portugal due to our poor relations. Are you a protectorate of Britain yet, Portugal? No, not yet. Surprise. Well, they got an alliance with Spain. Interesting. If half of what you're saying is true, I wouldn't want you anywhere near that border, she said. But I don't think it is. Mother, you've always said not to trust the Portuguese. Why would you trust them to respect our borders? No one wants their son to do it, but that's because they know it's dangerous. That's exactly why we need to do it. Set aside polite formalities, they are the enemy. Presidency Army is happy. Deteriorates relations with Portugal, or despite our mutual dislike, there is no need to escalate. Reduced authority, Presidency Army is unhappy. You know I'm going with the first one. I don't give a heck about Portugal, but the Presidency Army's support I do need in order to function as a country. Right, I was going to end the episode. Alright, so, that is all we've got time for tonight. My nerds, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.